Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Bachelor Nation Official. Please subscribe our channel. Jenn Tran created brand history tonight on The Bachelorette's season finale, and she did so in more ways than just becoming the first Asian lead. However, her happily ever after proved terribly fleeting. Let's review. As always, this 180-minute extravaganza opens out in the Tea Light Candle Thunderdome, where presenter Jesse Palmer promises us that something that has simply never happened on this show will happen tonight. That's not a huge exaggeration for once. What a miracle! As Jenn prepares to rejoin with her family in Hawaii, let's take our 3-hour show on the road. The closest friend and family of Jenn Tran from The Bachelorette. Greetings to Jenn's mother, Trin, brother James, aunt Lylan, and closest friend Nicole. Given that Jenn has never brought a man home before, Trin is a little anxious. My daughter, she's everything to me, she says. I hope Jenn finds a trustworthy partner and a lifelong love. Yes, Mama, don't we all? But to be honest, I'm not holding my breath. When the Bachelorette shows up, everyone is crying. Mom only wants to hear if the guys return the sentiment when Jenn tells the group that she's in love with Devin and Marcus. Oh no. Jennifer gives her family the Bachelorette updates. Hope springs everlasting, Rose lovers. There are still 48 hours remaining after all. Anything might occur. Whatever. Devin, come in here with your butt. I do have insecurities about meeting Jenn's family, he admits. It's undoubtedly the worry that they might not think I'm competent. Dude, put on a button if you're really concerned about impressing Jenn's traditional Vietnamese mother. On The Bachelorette, Devin greets Jenn's family and displays his chest hair. Trin, Lylan, and Devin take a seat first, along with Devin's abundantly visible chest hair. Mom is curious as to whether he has ever dated an Asian woman. Devin tells Trin and Lylan that Jenn makes him feel seen. Lord, how I long for the day that we can put that meaningless millennial phrase to bed, and makes him feel that he's 100% whole. I love it. But for me, it's not so much the ethnicity. I'm Hispanic, my family's Hispanic, and my mom is white. According to Lylan, Devin is a nice guy. And she likes that, like Jenn, he is aware of what it's like to grow up without a father figure. Nevertheless, neither Trin nor Lylan feel confident approving Devin's proposal. Nor does Jenn, who has only known Devin for a few months, feel comfortable doing so. Well, of course. When Jenn and her mother sit down to talk, it becomes sense that she might feel a little defensive, because she has been vocal about her mother's rejection of this TV romance process. She claims that Devin encourages her happiness and gives her the freedom to express her emotions honestly. He wants you to teach our kids Vietnamese, she says. Unfortunately, Mom pauses a little too long before responding tepidly to Jenn's question about whether Trin likes Devin. I think you need more time. Her brother gives the Bachelorette a friendlier response. He remarks, you guys make a great match. Having said that, he won't give Devin his okay to pop the question. Whatever decision that you choose, I'm going to support you. I'm definitely not going to give the blessing now, he says. It's not because I'm not sure about you. It's because I haven't talked to the second guy yet. But I do respect that you asked. I love that, actually. The Bachelorette stars Devin and James. Devin is not a fan. To hear her family be so wary about the whole thing, I am wrestling with my own sanity in this moment, he says. Hey, at least Jenn still has feelings for you. So now get inside the SUV and introduce yourself to Jenn's folks as the second guy. First, though, a little note to the producers of The Bachelorette. We won't believe any rumors that past candidates sitting in the audience are speculating about the finale, no matter how many times you cut back to the Thunderdome. Quit attempting to convince us that she can pull a Womack. She won't. Let's get back to the summary. Marcus attends the Bachelorette with Jenn's family. Jenn, in particular, is worried that Marcus hasn't declared his love for her yet since, in James' words, she has a history with emotionally unavailable men. If Marcus eventually utters the L-bomb today, according to the Bachelorette, it's going to change everything. Enjoy watching that back, Devin. Marcus must first give the family a brief overview of his genuinely sad past, which includes being abandoned as a youngster along with his siblings, coming dangerously close to death in battle, and other incidents. I realized how far I'm willing to go and how hard I'm willing to fight for love, he says. I'm not an expert in body language, but something tells me James is not quite convinced. I want to see this through with Jenn. The Bachelorette features Jenn's brother James and her aunt Lilan. James remarks, I can tell he really cares about Jenn. James pulls Marcus aside for their one-on-one conversation, saying, but at the same time as the protective brother, I was looking for more of him opening up about his relationship with Jenn. They talk about the struggles Marcus has had, and he admits that those events might give you a heart of stone. But he's working to get past them. Although James understands, he expresses his worries about Jenn's past relationships with emotionally unavailable guys, because he doesn't want that to become an issue right now. Marcus adds that Jenn has made him realize that he can, in fact, discover true love. He says he's spent the previous few years growing and really defining what kind of partner that I want to be. However, he does not explicitly state that he is prepared to become engaged. James isn't enamored with it. Marcus played Ring Around the Rosie a lot with my questions, he complained. And that's concerning, especially given that he's not there yet. In fact, Marcus gives Aunt Lilan this look when she asks him directly if he loves Jenn. The Bachelorette leaves Marcus at a loss for words. Wo? Mun. Marcus reiterates that he thinks he can get there, despite not being in a romantic relationship at the moment. He says, I've been missing this feeling of certainty, and his eyes begin to well up with tears. I want to get there for her. Dude, if you're not feeling it, you're not experiencing it. That's okay. Stop allowing this artificial romance factory guilt you into producing emotions you don't genuinely have. Nobody benefits from that, least of all Jenn. None of this escapes Trin. Marcus looks like he's not ready yet, she says. James expresses his worries to his sister, claiming that Marcus fits the mold of the emotionally distant men she has previously dated. Jenn is appreciative of James' advice but does not have an answer for him when he asks the crucial question. How long are you willing to wait? The Bachelorette is determined to hold out hope that things will get better. Your opinion matters to me more so than anybody else's, adds Jenn. James is overcome with emotion and needs to take a step back to gather his tears. You know me better than anybody else. Hug your sister, you giant softie. Ah! The Bachelorette features an embrace between Jenn and James. After the family visit, Jenn finds she has to have the difficult talk she has been avoiding all along with Marcus. She asks him, how do you see this ending for us? Marcus reports that despite their progress, he's still struggling to come up with a plan. Finally, he says, I'm trying because I think it's possible. Yes, that will not suffice, my friend. Really, how about you simply give up right now? While Jenn is off on her last chance date TM with Devin, at least consider it. Producers first cut back to the Thunderdome, introducing James, Jenn's brother, who is present in the audience through Palmer. How are you feeling about everything at this point? He says. James gives a mysterious assessment of the Bachelorette. Oh, perhaps Palmer's entire something catastrophic happens storyline, which she has been promoting all evening, wasn't a red herring. Though I still don't think she pulls a Womack if James, a man who will never say anything just because producers ask him to, is unhappy about anything, Jenn must also be unhappy. I'm beginning to feel a little anxious. Let's now resume Jenn and Devin's last chance date TM, which is currently underway. The Bachelorette features Jenn and Devin participating in a Hawaiian ceremony. Devin and Jenn are greeted by Kahu and her colleague, who also conducts a Hawaiian ritual. As Jenn explains, the ritual is about letting go of the past and embracing your future, and she hopes that Devin will feel more at ease. I'm paraphrasing. Jenn and Devin are asked to exit the sacred circle as part of the ceremony, and they are each given a lava rock that symbolizes their greatest fear for the future. Jenn has a severe dread of being abandoned, both materially and metaphorically. Jenn from The Bachelorette flaunts her lava rock. For those who are curious, Devin fears that he won't be able to recognize a positive item for what it is. After listening, Kahu advises them to throw the stone into the ocean as a symbolic way to let go of their fear. To be honest, this ritual seems quite freeing. I don't think my area has any lava rocks, but I might go throw some gravel from my driveway into the duck pond at the park next to my house. Jenn visits Devin in his hotel room that evening to have their last conversation prior to proposal day. Tonight, I want her to feel the weight of my soul, says Devin. The weight of your soul, dude? I want to make sure that she knows I'm here to fight for her every day. You were never considered a 21 grams experiment by me. In any case, please present your official token of affection to Jenn. On The Bachelorette, Devin offers Jenn a necklace made of green stones. Devin received a Panamu stone from the Maori shaman on their New Zealand date. The shaman told me not to give it out until I knew who I wanted to give it to for the rest of my life, Devin explains. Naturally, the Bachelorette adores it, saying, I can't be more proud to say that I want to give it to you. I can't believe you've been holding on to this since then, she marvels. It feels like a month, girl. Elevate your expectations. The following morning, Jenn is meant to have her last chance date with Marcus, but after spending the day with Devin, she's reminded of how little validation she's received from him. She wakes up feeling frustrated and confused. I've given Marcus every opportunity to tell me that he loves me, she says. At this point, I can't help but be in my head. You'll have to wait there for a little while longer, ma'am, as Marcus and Jesse Palmer are currently having an urgent therapy session. Marcus and Jesse Palmer share a seat on The Bachelorette. Marcus, his voice straining with passion, continues, I've been struggling with this doubt of whether or not Jenn and I are meant for each other. Marcus suddenly states, part of me really does love Jenn. Since when, dude? And adds, I just want Jenn to be happy. I want what's best for her. He's simply not in a position to love her fully or with certainty. Jesse does his hardest to give Marcus advice. I'm not telling you how you should feel, he says. However, you must tell her if you truly love her. All right, the issue is resolved. The man should just go find Jenn, wish her well on her journey, and send himself home because it's obvious that he doesn't love her, which is okay. Alternately, and perhaps far more entertaining, Jenn could say, F the date. Find Marcus in his room and demand some darn answers. On The Bachelorette, Jenn surprised Marcus at his hotel room. Yes, my friend. Jenn's here, and the cameras are too. I get the impression Marcus was genuinely taken aback by her arrival because of how long it took him to answer the door. The Bachelorette doesn't waste any time. She says, there's an engagement tomorrow. We're running out of time. At this stage of her journey, Jenn requires further information regarding Marcus's true feelings. I don't know if you see me in your future, she fears. Marcus, as we have discovered, does not function well under pressure. During the overnight date, he mumbles something about how scary the decision is for him and how he regrets not diving deeper about their future. Yes, I'm having trouble, he continues. Jenn asks, what are you trying to tell me? What do you think he's trying to say to you, girl? The man cannot, will not, and should not propose to you tomorrow. He has tried everything short of using semaphore to convey this message. She persists in pressing him. He certainly desires to be a husband and father, but does he want that relationship to include her? Marcus says, with you I can envision it. I don't know why moving forward scares me so much. Because, buddy, she's not the one you're meant to be with. When will you both agree to this? Jenn is distraught for some reason, in spite of all the signals. I've been investing so much into us, Marcus, she confesses through tears. I can respond to your question, ma'am. Where am I supposed to go from here? Return home to New Jersey, give yourself some space, and if, 3 months later, you're still thinking about either of these men, go on a camera-free date. I'm about to give up on this awful talk, but then Marcus says, at the end of the day, I know I do love you. Can you please hold my hand? Powdered baking? Jenn is also in shock at what she is hearing, Rose lovers. This Jenn on The Bachelorette is not happy. Marcus says, I want to give it a try. I apologize. Was Marcus hearing a producer yell in his ear, say, I love you now, or was he simply experiencing extreme mood swings? Please, Lord, help Jenn not to put her faith in this unexpected insight. When the Bachelorette returns to the room, Marcus tells her that he was afraid to tell her he loves her because he's not sure he can live up to her expectations. The Bachelorette takes a moment to gather herself. Thankfully, Jenn learns that the right words mean nothing if they come from the wrong person after hearing Marcus say the things she's been dying to hear. Adieu to Jenn and Marcus on The Bachelorette. She says, I appreciate you being honest with me. I think your uncertainty in this allowed me to give myself answers and give myself the love back to me that I needed. Hell yeah. Jenn, you had to validate yourself. You didn't need Marcus to do it for you. The jingle, the more you know, starts. Naturally, we move to Marcus sitting solemnly on the couch in the tea light candle Thunderdome as he breaks down in tears as Jenn leaves. Marcus during the Bachelorette season finale. Watching back is tough, he says to Jesse. That was obviously a hard day for both of us. Marcus responds, I had no idea when I got back home, so it took some time to realize that we made the right choice. To the host's question about whether he had any regrets. Despite this, he still cares about Jenn deeply. And he feels bad for possibly having let her down. However, after going through the entire experience, he's learned to accept that sometimes life happens the way it needs to go, not the way you want it to. He acknowledges, it's hard to let someone go like that. That selfish part of me wanted to hold on to it, for better or for worse. Rose lovers, you already know what follows next. In the Bachelorette finale, Jenn and Marcus get back together. I hope everything is going well for you, Jenn says. I was so happy to be able to go on this journey with you because our relationship meant so much to me, she says. Marcus is just as generous, calling it an honor and a privilege to accompany her on her journey, and stating that he wouldn't have changed a thing. The Bachelorette continues. I think we both learned so much from each other. Palmer, sick of small talk, asks Jenn when she knew that her relationship with Marcus was gone. She acknowledges that for some time, deep down, she had a feeling that something was not right, but she attempted to ignore it. Jenn didn't know who her true love was until Devin appeared out of the blue in her hotel room, just when she thought he was going to leave. And no, Jenn is adamant that Marcus's early, I love you statement would not have made a difference. At the end of the day, I think my heart was just in a different place, Jenn explains. But I am so grateful for our relationship. We both still have this, deep respect for each other. Well, that was pleasant. The only thing left to wonder is whether Jenn will see that accepting a proposal from a different guy might not be the best idea the day after she experienced an agonizing split with the first one she loved. LOL, Rose lovers, of course not. It isn't how this franchise operates. Logic and reality be damned. The romance train remains on its path. Look at Devin picking out a ring with Neil Lane. Promotional consideration provided by. The Bachelorette's Devin examines rings. Jenn and Jesse Palmer are having their last debriefing in the interim. She says to him, I have to choose myself. What just happened? Will a bachelorette ever choose herself above a man who she will almost definitely end her relationship with in the next 3 to 6 months? Once more I say LOL, Rose lovers, of course not. Jenn is saying, I'm not going to let Devin propose to me today, when she says she is choosing herself. The Bachelorette gets a bombshell from Jenn. I simply want to make a big gesture so that he can truly understand where my love is, she continues. Oh, I see. That's enjoyable. Is it, though? Jesse Palmer suddenly interrupts with a solemn we need to talk expression. Regarding the Bachelorette finale, Jesse Palmer has some bad news. As soon as the host says, I know what you're thinking, he says, since that day in Hawaii, we decided it wouldn't be appropriate for anyone to see the proposal until we hear from Jenn. Oh, crap. Which is why Jesse is interrupting this lovely moment. He turns to a commercial, and Jenn can be seen tensely standing in the wings for a little moment. Is something amiss, my dear roses? Jenn. Why is she crying? After watching The Bachelorette, Jenn feels dejected. Palmer says, I don't even know really how to get into this. And the Bachelorette pauses before starting to share her experience. We had left Hawaii engaged. It was the happiest day of my life, says Jenn. And then, essentially, as soon as we had left Hawaii, things were just different. It kind of just felt like he was pulling away. He wasn't calling as much. He wasn't texting as much. Jenn eventually admits that last month, just before a scheduled happy couple visit, Devin called and broke up with her. She had to pause numerous times to choke back her tears. She sobs and says, "He basically said that he didn't feel the same way and didn't love me anymore. He denied ever being in love. He was checked out. It wasn't what he wanted anymore." Observing it hurts. Of course, it's nearly difficult for anybody to discover true love in this kind of environment. But it's also unpleasant to watch someone struggle under such obvious, brutal control. Jenn correctly notes, "Nobody forced him to say the things that he did. He was sitting here telling his mom that I was the one. He sat in front of my mom and said that I was the one. Revolting. All right, Devin, come clean and give a self-explanatory explanation." When he steps onto the stage, a few jeers greet him, and Jenn quickly takes a swing at him. On the Bachelorette finale, Jenn and Devin. "I can try to understand somebody changing their mind about the way they feel," she continues. "What I can't understand is everything you did after you had broken our engagement. Ending the engagement on the phone call. The next day I wake up to you following girls on Instagram. Not just any girl, but Maria. Maria, the person that a lot of people assumed would be the Bachelorette? Oh, hell no. That's some really bad BS. Not only is that so disrespectful to everything we had shared together, I just don't get it. Why you would do something like that?" Jenn questions him. Devin doesn't have much to say about himself, which I suppose is because he's a garbage human. "I'm not here to tell you that you can't feel the way you feel," he stammers. "But everything I felt for you was real. Was it?" After the breakup, Jenn lashes out at him, accusing him of clubbing in New York with Jeremy. The audience erupts in an indignant, "Oh!" and Jeremy appears to want to hide under a rock. In the Bachelorette finale, Jeremy has some explaining to do. "When we left the show, I had a lot of doubts," says Devin, "and regretfully and sadly, I repressed those feelings." Palmer interrupts and begs for a little more explanation. "However, I was honest about that." Jenn is saying, "Yeah, 2 months later, you jackass. I was giving you everything for 2 months, but you were hiding all of these doubtful feelings." Devin's response, "Rose Lovers," is utterly infuriating. "I was regretfully late on letting you know. You are 100% right." She chastises him. "Regretfully late? Bro, that's what you say when you get stuck in traffic and miss the movie previews. That's not what you say when you hide a huge, game-changing secret from the person you say you love." Devin is laughing awkwardly throughout this whole awkward conversation, squirming and wincing visibly every time the crowd applauds Jenn. "How can I express my regret more than I have attempted to?" he protests weakly. Devin is getting his ass kicked, and he knows it. When Palmer tosses to another break, we hear Devin mumble, "What is going on here?" in the background. "That's right, dude, you're getting what you deserve." Palmer implores Devin to say whatever he needs to Jenn, but all he says is self-justifying babble. "I watched this beautiful girl grow and flourish into this amazing woman on her own," he rambles. "And I found myself falling short of those expectations in the real world. And I found myself not being able to live up to the things that you need and you deserve. You don't deserve to compromise your standards to be happy." The public beating continues once the show returns from commercial. "It's not you, it's me. Wow, that's creative." Finally, Jesse steps in to do one more task before hyping Jenn up with some much-needed reinforcement. "You showed all of us what a strong and powerful woman is." The host then says, "Look, I'm not serious. It's time to watch the proposal. Are you ready?" Palmer queries Jenn. Jenn is ready to see the finale of The Bachelorette and her disastrous proposal. Regretfully, the response is negative. It's true that they retain a still image of Jenn crying, while witnessing what she believed to be the most memorable day of her life play out on the big screen. Sadness captured in a picture at the Bachelorette season finale. Rose lovers, join me in saying this. Bachelorette producers put in more labor than the devil does. Wearing a tan suit and a Ferragamo belt, Devin shows up at the proposal platform TM. Jenn is going to make him go through the agonizing process of letting him give an emotional speech, Jenn, I do love you with all of my heart, and it's a feeling I don't ever want to go away. And then pretending to dump him, even though she loves him. Devin is shocked by Jenn on The Bachelorette. The Bachelorette says, I want to wake up and choose you every day for the rest of my life. And baby, I want to grow old with you. Don't worry, Devin, we fell for that one too. Let her finish. How adorable that is. This cursed clamshell ring box team Bachelorette gave Jenn for Devin's engagement band is cute. But you know what's not so cute? The Bachelorette features the most hideous ring box ever created. It looks like something the prop department of Days of Our Lives would rustle up when they needed Marlena to find an alien egg in her garden. It looks like something Ursula from The Little Mermaid uses to keep her Xanax in. It looks like something you'd find at a haunted garage sale. Wow, do I hate this. I'll stop now. This is it, with Devin's ring in it. On The Bachelorette, Jenn gives Devin a ring. Jenn asks Devin Strader to marry her, saying, Will you kindly make me the happiest girl in the world and get married? You turned the tables on me, he guffaws, and provides a resounding yes. Devin demands his moment after Jenn puts the ring on his finger. Whether you want me to propose or not, he declares, I'm going to propose to you. Well, that's not exactly my style. Did Sam just take over Devin's body? Anyway, if you must, sir, then go ahead and do it. Needless to say, and yet I'm saying it, Jenn says yes. And we all know how that went. Rose lovers. I am very proud of that woman there who chose a man who at the time was giving her everything that she ever wanted. Jenn says when we rewind to the Thunderdome. What happened was, that man doesn't exist anymore. At this point, I do know what I deserve. The audience applauds her, saying, Hell yeah, someone else will be that man for me, and I can find that person who will fulfill all the promises that he made instead of leaving me with nothing. Applaud. Jesse asks Devin if he feels the same way about watching it back, but really, who cares how that jabroni feels? He can say that man loved you. But we're not buying it. Mr. Palmer, please take this guy off our TVs. Hopefully Joan's journey doesn't go as disastrously wrong as it seems. Side note, you can get a much better preview of the Golden Bachelorette by reading my report from the set. Trust me, it's a hoot. We go from this agonizing breakup conversation to a sneak preview of the upcoming season of the Golden Bachelorette. Wow, what a bummer of a night. I genuinely feel bad for Jenn, and I never feel bad for people who voluntarily sign up for humiliation on reality TV. I swear on all that's holy, if producers give Devin a pass to paradise, I'm going to fly to Mexico and steal all his SPF, so he's too sunburned to hit on any women. Rose lovers, before you go, here are some questions for you to consider. Will I see you back here on September 18th for the launch of the Golden Bachelorette? Are you surprised that Devin turned out to be such a giant douche nozzle? Do you think Jenn and Marcus might get back together?